Salvete discipuli. This is Help for Your Latin Studies in Henle First Year Latin, exercise number 190. In this exercise, we are given some interesting adjectives that are similar to the interesting second declension nouns that we've recently been given, like puer and ager. In our new vocabulary list in the Purple Book on page 168, we have some new adjectives. And you'll notice that the masculine form of these adjectives do not follow the same pattern as our normal masculine form endings, adjective endings do, which is to say they would normally have us. But in this case, these adjectives in this vocabulary list in the masculine form have an ER ending. So we have miser, misera, and miserum, which means wretched. We have liber, libera, and liberum, which means free. And then we have integer, integra, and integrum, which can mean fresh, uninjured, or whole. And then we're given two new nouns, one in the second declension family. Praelium praelii means battle, and civitas, civitatis, which is a third declension noun, meaning state. So we're going to use these vocabulary words in this exercise 190. And I also wanted to show you that in the blue book, rules number 75 and 76 and 74, this whole page, gives you more detailed information about those interesting adjectives that have been introduced here in the vocabulary. So with that in mind, let's look at exercise 190, number 1, which says, with fresh forces. We're going to translate, obviously, from English into Latin. So we see the word with, and know that that's a preposition. Translated to Latin is cum, and cum takes the ablative. So looking at the phrase with fresh forces, my next question is, what is the object of the preposition? And I see that it's forces because the word fresh is an adjective describing the noun forces. So our object of the preposition is forces, our adjective is fresh. And before I translate those two words, I'm noting that they'll need to be in the ablative and they'll need to be in the plural form. And also, I'm asking the question in my head, is fresh a quality or quantity adjective? Is it giving a sense of quantity or numerical value, or is it giving a sense of quality to the noun? And I would answer quality. It may have been a while since you've had to translate an adjective, so I'll just remind you, we use a nonsense. In our class, we use a nonsense word, and I'll write it here, qua noun, qual, to remember the order. So the noun being in the middle here, if it's a quantity adjective, it goes before the noun, and if it's a quality adjective, it's placed after the noun. So just remember that, qua noun, qual. Fresh, I would determine to be a quality adjective. So when we translate this into Latin, I'm going to place it after the noun. So the noun for forces, you may remember, and I'll just flip back to our Unit 2 review vocabulary. The word for forces is copiae copiarum. This was one of those interesting nouns that if it's translated in a singular number, then it means supply or abundance. But if it's translated as a plural noun, then it can be translated as troops or forces. So we're going to start with the plural form, copiae copiarum. It's a first declension noun and it's feminine. So those are all details that we need to pay attention to. We want our noun for forces, in this case, to be plural, and we want it to be ablative. So as I think through the first declension plural endings, I, arum, is, as, is. So copiis is what that should read, copiis. And then we want our adjective to agree with the noun it modifies in gender, number, and case. So it also needs to be feminine, ablative, and plural. So looking back at our new vocabulary list, the word fresh comes from integer, integra, integrum. The feminine form is in the middle there, integra. And so I can look right here in my blue book at the feminine form, integra, for the plural ablative, integris. And that will be the translation for the word fresh, integris. So the answer to number 1, cum copiis integris. I hope that this has been helpful to you, and you have a great day.